another LI.Fi stage event. We're going to be joined with our friends from Folks Finance today, and we're going to deep dive into Folks Finance. I just want to thank you all for coming up here. In the meantime, it's always good to be here on the stage, connecting with the community and some of our partners as well, really getting to shine the light on what they're building in DeFi and how they're contributing to the space as a whole. So yeah, we're going to get our guests up here on stage, and we're going to kick this off shortly. In the meantime, you can feel free just to invite anybody that you know to hop in to the stage event. It's going to be full with great information, and it's going to be really good 30 minutes that we have planned here. I'm joined on stage at the moment by Ben, who is the CEO over at Folks Finance. Ben, how are you doing today?
Can you hear me?
Hey Ben, yeah, I can hear you great. Thanks for
Sorry,
joining in
I
today.
was I was on mute. I was speaking on mute. Thanks for
Uh,
having us here. How are you doing? I'm very good.
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. All the better for now being on stage and getting just to connect with yourself and Ibu, who's I'm just inviting up on stage. How are you doing today? Busy period over at Folks Finance?
Yeah, very, very busy. Like the launch of the New Testament was uh I forgot how busy it is when you launch a new product. It was like more than 1 year that we didn't have a big launch.
Yeah, for sure. That can. Oh, hey Ibu, how's it going?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thanks for hopping on here. I imagine like Ben, you as well and the rest of your team have been quite busy prepping for this massive product launch that we'll dive into.
Oh, definitely. For months, it takes a lot of coordination, redundancies, preparation. So yeah, we were getting it set up.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, looking forward to jumping into all of these exciting topics on the new products and just what else is happening with Folks Finance over the duration of our AMA today. But I sometimes feel that we build these great products, we building these massive protocols, and there's often a team and people behind what users interact with on the UI. And sometimes it's nice just to get to know a bit of the team better. So Ben as CEO and Ibu as head of partnerships, could you just let the community here on stage know a little bit more about you, maybe a bit about your past experience and what you're involved in directly at Folks Finance?
Yeah. So I can start. So I'm Italian. I was grown in the south of Italy. I moved to Milan to do my bachelor in engineering. Then I did a master in innovation and management engineering in the UK. And then I moved back to Italy, where I started to work as a project manager for the largest Web3 software house of Italy. And at that time, the software house was one of the early partner of Algorand, and I was following DeFi on my personal note with other colleagues. So we just suggested to start to build DeFi on Algorand because we were strategic there. And then I stepped from project manager to CEO of Folks. And yeah, that's basically my experience in the space. Like it's now almost 6 years, and it has been a great journey so far. I love Folks; it's my family, and always looking forward to bring new innovation to the industry. Maybe you can go.
Yeah, I'll jump in. What a beautiful speech from Ben. Uh, no, I've been working for folks for about 2 years, just a little over 2 years, and before that, I actually was also in the Algorand ecosystem. I was pretty much the first content creator in the Algorand ecosystem. I had a page called Algo HQ that I started in the summer of 2021, and I was making short form videos like TikToks, and I also did interviews as well because I felt like there was not enough information about Algorand. At that time, it was a pretty big competitor to Ethereum. This is back when there was that was what the whole industry was about, was like which chain is going to be the ETH killer. So there was a lot of opportunities on competitive chains, not only for things like content creation, but creating a lending protocol on one of those competitive chains was a great opportunity. So, of course, at the same time I was starting off my page, folks was getting their things started, like building the minimum viable product for the V1. I actually got a job with a folks' biggest competitor a couple months later in the fall of 2021. Um, and I was with them for like 6 months, then kind of bounced around to a couple NFT marketplaces, and then in the summer of 2022, Ben hit me up asking me to do social media management and make some tutorial videos for them. Started off really simple, and then over the past 2 years, I just been, you know, grinding for folks and becoming a bigger part of the team. And I joined folks 2 months after they launched on Algorand mainnet. Back then, they had like 3 million TVL and were way behind their competitor. And now it's by far the biggest app on Algorand, over 100 million TVL, which peaked at like 220 earlier this year. Now we're expanding to all these different networks, and it's very exciting. As for me, I do partnerships, a lot of content creation still, writing articles, videos, um, doing interviews sometimes, and just try to help with the strategy of the marketing side overall. So yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time just to introduce yourselves a bit to the community over here. It sounds like over at Folks, you guys have seasoned experience in building multiple things and have a great team. I'm sure extends further than just the two of you. With Alice, who I've met before, who's great, and the rest of the team to continue building what you're building at Folks Finance. You guys have grown into one of the largest protocols and communities on Algorand, which is really exciting. And I just wonder if you could just give an introduction to Folks Finance and just break down what the mission of Folks Finance is, how that's evolving in 2024 as you launch a new product. I'm sure some of our community would love to understand Folks a bit better.
Yeah. So, in general, our mission since the very beginning was to build DeFi in a different standard. Um, I personally was never a big fan of how the competition was going. I think that for many years we just sit on the big pillars of DeFi like Uniswap, Aave, Compound, so on. Which, yes, there would be evolution and getting better, but very very slow. Um, and I pushed the team since the very beginning to always think different out of the box, to think that even those competitors to be very big, um, they weren't that innovative, and to not be afraid to compete with them, because there is a lot of space for improvements. That's what I felt from the very beginning when we joined. In fact, like, I remember when we did the first white paper of Folks, we were reviewing a lot Aave and finding a lot of inefficiencies. And I mean, that was also kind of the one of the reason of why we succeeded in the very beginning. Even just in the fundraise, like when I would say, okay, we took inspiration from Aave, but we did this and this and better, so that's why we're going to be better. I think that this reflects a lot in our company philosophy. So when we launched the lending protocol at the very beginning, we were already innovative and in an isolated ecosystem. We had a big competitor that launched before us. Nevertheless, we never stopped to keep building and innovate. So our kind of secret sauce was keep building, and the protocol switched from being a lending protocol to a DeFi hub, which has still now lending, swaps, leverage trading, liquid staking, on-off ramp, and leverage liquid staking. So the way we built that, it's all around the lending. So we had a very good lending protocol. So we decided to power it up with a tool around it, what we could compose in order to build a new feature. For example, lending and liquid staking, we build the leverage liquid staking without new contracts. So that is the overall idea around the product. So just build very good tools in a very simple user interface, user experience, and the rest it kind of came per se a bit. Every time that we will add a new tool, we will see growth in TVL, in users, in revenue, and a pleasure for us. So, and a push to always do better and better. And right now we are in the expansion phase. Being Algorand a non-EVM chain, we were never able to just fork what we did on Algorand to another chain. So for us, the effort towards building something new was not worth until we learned about cross-chain technologies. So we told when we were introduced to this new model of cross-chain lending, we simply loved it, and we decided that the cross-chain lending was going to be the first step forward for our expansion. And finally, we arrived on testnet. And the thing is that we are not just a lending protocol, so we wanted to leverage the user experience that we built, the user interface that we built for the Algorand protocol, all now in a new cross-chain narrative. That's why, for example, we decided to use LI.FI as cross-chain swaps. So, of course, we cannot build everything ourselves. We will focus on the lending, and we will use different partners for the different tools. So LI.FI for the swaps, we will have different liquid staking provider for the different chain that we support. So the idea is, again, to have this cross-chain DeFi hub that offers the most advanced tools and efficient in all collected in one place in a very simple way. That is everything about Fox.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's really a great breakdown for us to understand what you guys are building over at Fox Finance. When I think about it, it's almost like you guys are one-stop shop for what you're offering. Even when I look at the cross-chain lending, you guys use this hub and spoke model, which is very interesting. Can you maybe break down what the benefits are of the hub and spoke model that you guys use with your cross-chain lending? Because I think that's pretty interesting to the user.
Yeah, it is. The way it works is basically you can collateralize and borrow on the different networks that are supported. And you can do it in parallel. For example, you can use a collateral on Ethereum to borrow something else on Avalanche. At the same time, you could, I don't know, bridge the asset that you want to borrow to the chain of destination that you wish. So it's very, very flexible in terms of what you can do with the assets and on which chain. But at the same time, it is also more efficient in terms of liquidity, because by being able to transfer assets around the chains in a quick and cheap way, we have the concentrated liquidity model. So instead than spreading liquidity in different networks as it is any standard multi-chain lending protocol, as we can look at LI.F today, you are not going to distribute liquidity in different networks, but rather concentrate those into one. So if a user is depositing USDC in Ethereum, those are going to be directly concentrated in the Avalanche pool, because, for example, the Avalanche network has the concentrated liquidity pool of USDC. At the same way, for example, if you are going to deposit Sol wrapped in another chain that is not Solana, those are going to be transferred in the concentrated pool on Solana of Sol. So this allows basically to concentrate the native assets in the native network, and will allow larger loans, simply because the liquidity, instead than being instead than being separated in different network, is concentrated in one. So bigger pool, it means bigger loans. So that's simply how the rationale in the liquidity efficiency that this model brings.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the capital efficiency and just the overall model. You mentioned that there were a ton of competitors, and one key thing that set your team apart in the protocol is that you're very resilient to build something. Maybe spotting a few weaknesses and what's currently existing to build solutions and strengths to those weaknesses. What do you feel as the CEO sets Folks Finance apart from its competitors?
Well, I think we have been different from the competitors from the very beginning. Like even when we were not competing in the EVM space, we were always try to think. Even let's say we are the leader on Algorand, but we would still think that we want to be leader in the industry, right? So it's in terms of product, I believe that we have a way better product than many others in terms of lending protocol in the industry. Indeed, we cannot compete outside because yet we don't have the exposure to the liquidity that is outside of Algorand. And now we will. So I think that the comparison can be done easier. In the cross-chain space directly, there are other hub and spoke lending. By far, ours is one of the most advantage. For example, the dashboard account for the user account dashboard that we built, it's something very innovative. No one else has done something similar, which you can add and invite address from different networks. It's super innovative, and we aim it to be a standard in the industry. We have done a huge work around that in order to make it as useful as possible. The same is related to the UI in general. We try to make our protocol as simple as possible. It's not yet finalized, so this is the first version of the testnet. A lot of things will be deployed in the next weeks, so users are going to decide it by themselves. But we do a lot of research and innovation around the user experience. And of course, there is the differentiator factor that is we are not just a lending protocol. So we are a DeFi hub. So I think every tool that we add in around the lending, it's kind of power it up in order to be a better protocol in general, because sometimes it's very tiring for a user to need to switch between different protocols for doing different operation. And then there is also the fact that we combine those. So for example, the lending and the swaps, you can do swap and deposit, right? So in one click, you can swap the assets that you have towards another one to deposit this directly in the lending protocol. And the last thing that it's going to be a big, like to say, a strong point from our side is the mobile app that we are building. I cannot disclose too much around that, but it's going to be much simpler and offering new tools, which are a mix of traditional finance and DeFi for the users. And of course, we didn't launch our token yet, so there is plenty of roadmap for us compared to other big players that have diluted all of their tokenomics.
100%. So many key things going on at Folks, as you guys are one big DeFi hub. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. A lot for users to look forward to. The mobile app, some nice token alpha here at the LI.FI stage, which is always great for the community to hear. But let's highlight what's one of the biggest moments for you guys within this last year, which is the cross-chain testnet launch. What does it feel like to finally have that live as a team? What can users get excited about? It's great as a partner to see this testnet go live.
Yeah, I got this one. It's a great feeling. For many reasons, we worked on it for a long time. We had to push it back many times because we wanted to ensure that it was going to be functional, good quality upon the release of the testnet. Still, if you go and try it now, it's a work in progress, and we need feedback. We're looking for feedback from everybody that So that's a message out to the audience here. Go try it out. It's very relieving to have it in the past now. It's one of those moments where, okay, final, at least for me, it's like the clouds have cleared up and you can look forward again to something different. But of course, we have the mainnet launch coming up soon. So this was just a little teaser of that, basically. So yeah, what people can look forward to on the testnet is we have some campaigns going right now, which will let you um, build up points on Galaxy and collect OATs. Which we're going to be tracking for recognition purposes down the line. So you can do social quests like retweeting some posts of ours, of course, following folks, basic things like that. And then soon you'll be able to go onto the testnet, take a couple actions like deposit from different chains, borrow on different chains, create a loan, etc. And you'll be able to collect some recognition and rewards for that as well. So that's definitely something that people are going to want to check out if you're interested in being early to this testnet incentive program. And I'll actually share a link with you, and everyone in the audience can check it out as well, which is our full testnet guide on our Medium, which not only explains the testnet but also has everything you need to know about the campaigns we're running, plus step-by-step tutorial videos for how to accomplish everything on the testnet. So we really tried to go in detail as much as possible to um, help people. But yeah, whatever you even test right now, the thing that's exciting to me when we launch these big upgrades is that it feels like a huge innovative step, but then a couple months down the line, after more polishing, more improvement, the initial version starts to, you look back on it and you're like, what the heck was that? Because whatever you made, in the revisions is so much better. So that's where I'm really excited for. This new cross-chain thing is very innovative. It's very new. I like to think of it as it's a hub to deploy your capital across a plethora of chains. So you use folks, you deposit your assets on folks, earn yield on them, keep them in a consistent place. Then, I see an opportunity over on Avalanche. Let me go borrow some AVAX, trade my coin or trade my NFT or yield farm this thing, and then when you're done, you bring it back into folks. And now there's an opportunity over on Base or BNB. You can do that and use folks as your deployment hub. So I think that's the beauty of the vision of the design. And I would definitely, like I said, everyone should go check out the testnet guide, check out the Galaxy campaign. It's pretty easy. Should only take you maybe 20 minutes to do all the tasks, probably less, to do the social tasks, and definitely gonna be early on our incentive campaign as well.
Yeah, please do share that Medium link in our Telegram chat. I'll pop it in here in our AMA chat. I actually popped through the testnet cross-chain app link. So community, you can check that out as well. You can get testing. I know folks is big on community feedback, which is something that we are too over at LI.FI. So give them some feedback, help them build a community centered testnet, and then soon mainnet, which I believe is not too far away, right, Ben?
No, it is not. It's upcoming in, I would say, let's say end of August is too early and the middle September is too late.
Ooh, just just around the corner then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. So community, don't waste some time with our friends at Folks Finance. Head over there, play around with the testnet, check out the Medium article, which is now linked in the chat box, and yeah, give it a go and look forward to the mainnet launch. Also, for everyone who's here at stage, we do have Folks Finance hosting a Galaxy Quest on their Galaxy page, and for attending this AMA for at least 5 minutes, you're able to get the oats as long as you complete the other quest steps that's in the quest as well. Okay, cool. Well, we've covered some great topics here in this call so far. On the roadmap, anything else you'd like to share, Ibu, Ben, or any last thoughts that you may have while our community's here?
I think we can just slightly add more on the chains that we're going to support. So as for now, Folks Finance cross-chain lending support CCIP and Wormhole as a bridge, so as messaging layer. So we are tightened to their roadmap as well. We may add other messaging layers later in future, but for now, our chain deployment roadmap it's going to converge to those two technologies that we use. We are going to have at the very beginning Avalanche, Base, and Ethereum. Later on, will follow quickly BNB, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Polygon. But again, like it's very much related to the roadmap of the technologies that we use, as well as CCTP, because for us the cross-chain transfer of USDC it's kind of vital. Yeah, I don't know if you Ibu wanna add something else.
Yeah, I would say there's going to be a lot of cool improvements coming. Like Ben mentioned earlier, our plan is to expand the cross-chain lending into the full DeFi hub, the full suite of tools over the next couple months. So just like we did on Algorand, that's what we want to do on the cross-chain in the cross-chain setting, and eventually folks will be that app that you feel you can go to and get anything done. You can manage your portfolio the way you want. Like you said, we have not only lending and borrowing, but liquid staking, leverage trading, leverage liquid staking, swaps on off ramp. So it'll be that spot to go. Of course, swaps are going to be powered by LI.FI. So shout out to LI.FI on that department. The great product. I often use it. But yeah, just stay tuned to what we're doing, and of course, like Ben also mentioned, not often is there a DeFi protocol that's been live for 2 years, has over 100 million TVL, and is about to start tapping into more ecosystems. Still doesn't have a governance DAO set up, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Just keep your eyes on folks, and if anybody is also a content creator, they like to make tutorial videos, threads, just posts, shit posts, memes, I would say contact me, and I would love to see what you can make, because we are looking for good quality content creators as well who can help us spread the message. So those are the only things I would say.
You're looking for an intern, right?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Dope. Well, we got a few in the community. Hopefully they push over. Well, guys, it's great. Tons of functionality and product functionality across a plethora of chains coming to the Folks Finance users. Swaps powered by LI.FI. It's been really great. Thanks again for your time just copping here on stage with our community. Community, thanks for tuning in. We hope that you found this pretty informative and that you got excited about Folks Finance. Ben, Ibu, it's been my pleasure to host this. Thank you once again, and hopefully we do this soon.
Yes, anytime. It was lovely to chat. And of course, anyone who would like to learn more, follow our social, follow me, follow Ibu, get in touch with us. We are always welcoming you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Exactly. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Cheers,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.